Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
What? Man, look at here. We back. The Get Your Happy On Hour, 93.7 The Ticket. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. Man, look at here. This is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there, and hope everybody's being safe, being smart about it, because it's real easy to make some bad choices, and people seem to be kind of unique on holidays. So you guys be safe out there, and just know that I want y'all to still get your happy on, but I don't want you to harm yourself. You know, I was thinking about Father's Day, and for those that don't know, I lost my father in 2006. So Father's Day is, it's a rough day for me, but it gets better, I want to say, but sometimes it still kind of gets my undivided attention. But I'm in a good place today. I'm on this mission to make my Father in heaven proud of me, and I believe that I'm doing the best I can. I hope I'm doing okay. You know, tonight's show is going to be a little interesting, too, because I got a really, really special guest. It's like a good personal friend and a former teammate of mine from the...
Don't oversell it.
No, come on, man. I already know, man. You ain't got to be humble around me, dude. I mean, I know
Don't
you.
oversell it.
Hey, my guest tonight is former Husker Eric Buchanan. Man, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Well, hey, oh, yeah, before we get started, man, you know, Eric invited me to play in a golf tournament Friday. And see, my golf skills are still work in progress. But they was patient enough to let me play with them. So thank you for that opportunity.
You're welcome. But I would say that you underestimate your abilities.
What?
I'm just glad we weren't playing for money. Especially on the last 3 or 4 holes where Mr. Simmons found something with his driver, because he was banging that thing.
Well, you know, every now and then a blind squirrel will find a nut. So that means, you know, I was just getting lucky. That's all that was.
You hit that thing a long way on those last two in particular. So,
well, Eric, you know, a lot of the people that are listening, you know, they know about former players, but they don't have the inside scoop. So we're going to kind of talk about something other than football, the football aspect.
That's good.
I'd like for you to share with everybody, man. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Okay. Well, first off, let me say the golf tournament was for Lincoln High. So
okay.
I'm not from here, but my boys both went to Lincoln High School, and I am a big supporter of the school, of the leadership at the school, what they stand for, the way they approach what they do there, and just really believe in what Principal Larson and the staff is doing over there. So I just want to make sure that we get that out there.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, this is the second year I think you've done that, right?
It's the second year you played with us. My son was playing with us before the first couple of years after he graduated. He lives down in Arizona now. So, but we're glad to have you on the squad. So I didn't want to get that. So I'm originally from Overland Park, Kansas. Grew up down there. My father. So we're talking about fathers. Was Buck Buchanan, who is a pro football player with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a sports radio, correct?
Yes, sir.
So folks out there will probably know.
Yeah.
Right? Don't know who he is. It's been a while, but my old man was from Birmingham, Alabama. He met my mother at Grambling, where they both went to school. So my mom was from a place called DeQuincy, Louisiana, which is a little bitty town sort of north of Lake Charles.
Okay.
Her dad, my granddad, O.B. Pete, was a minister. My dad's grandparents, my granddad worked in the steel mills in Birmingham.
Okay.
Had a side hustle doing hogs and stuff on the
weekend. He was getting his hustle on.
He had something going on all the time.
Okay.
And my grandmother worked in a cafeteria, a bank.
Wow.
For a very long time. So, both sides of the family really humble beginnings.
Right.
Particularly my dad. So Pop grew up, went to Parker High School in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
Had, at least as my grandmother would tell it, had some issues.
Okay.
While he was there, sometimes
Okay.
found himself in a little bit of trouble.
Okay.
So when the opportunity came for him to go to Grambling, she wanted him to go very badly because she was afraid that if he stuck around,
she's trying to get him away from Alabama.
She needed to get him around. She needed to get him out of there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She get him out of there. So she got him out of there. He went down to Grambling, had success. Anyway, he and my mom got together, and then eventually, he's playing football down there. And I'm sure some of the folks listening know, about what the environment was back in those days for Black players. And basically, really only place you could play were at the HCBUs. There were very few players that were playing in what we would call, traditional Division I, land grant, big time colleges. Very, very few, and none in the South.
Right.
Anyone over there that had to be in the Midwest someplace. Ended up in Kansas City. So that's where we started the family.
So now he played for the Chiefs.
Played for the Chiefs.
How long did he play for the Chiefs for?
About 13 years. 13. Yeah. Like that.
I got now that I'm thinking about it, like, cause we'll get back to your story, but I got to say this while I'm thinking about it. Well, while we were at Nebraska, he came to a practice one time, and I mean, I was like a little kid. You know what I mean? Because I'm walking out of the locker room, going up to the training room, and Buck Buchanan is standing in the hallway, just standing there. And it's kind of like, I don't know, for those that ever remember that Mean Joe Green commercial and with the Coke commercial when he threw the guy the jersey. Yeah. That's how I felt, dude. I was like, that's Buck Buchanan. He's like, how you doing, young man? I was like, I'm fine, sir. Yeah. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, dude, your dad was a hero to a lot of us.
Yes.
Because, even growing up in Texas, we knew who Buck Buchanan was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But now you say you start off in Kansas.
Yeah, in the Kansas City area. And then came to Lincoln in 1980. So you may not even know this, but we were talking about Mike earlier, right? So, as you remember, Mike had to go to JC for a year.
Right. He went to Coffeyville.
Went to Coffeyville. So that did not get known until fairly late in the process, right? So my senior year, I broke my leg. I only played 3 games.
Oh, wow.
And barely got back on the track. I limped all the way through track season. But I did not know this until much later on that McBride had been up and had talked to my coach.
Oh.
And that actually had asked for some film, but for whatever reason it didn't come together, right?
Okay.
And I don't know if it was something after the injury, but I don't know what happened. So that summer they had an all-star game called the Big Brothers and Big Sisters, not unlike the Shrine Bowl.
Okay.
And I was healthy enough to play, and our boy Neil Harris,
right,
Neil. From Kansas City, was playing got to know Neil a little bit, and,
right.
And after the game, Neil said, "Hey man, can I get your number?" And I was like, "Yeah, he just want to hang out this summer, right? Cool." 2 days later, I think I got a call from Osborne, who I'd never met before. I talked to nobody from Nebraska, didn't know anything about really anything that was going on. I was an Oklahoma guy.
Yeah,
I know anything.
There's a lot of us.
I was Oklahoma guy. I really didn't know anything about Nebraska. I really didn't know where it was. I'm in Kansas. I don't know where Nebraska is. That tells you how much at the time the people in Kansas City thought about Nebraska. We didn't really know where it was. And he said, "Hey, we have this situation. We have a scholarship. Would you be interested?" And I don't know, maybe that weekend, my pop and I drove up, met Osborne, some other coaches I don't remember, and I pretty much signed right there.
Really?
So that all came together in July.
Oh wow!
Late June,
camp in August.
Early July. I mean, so it happened completely out of the blue. At that point in time, I was not going anywhere. I did not have.
Didn't have a lot of offers.
No, I didn't have.
Well, you've been injured, so that didn't help.
I had a couple of community colleges, and Emporia State had talked to me, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and quite honestly, I was confused.
I got you.
About what my future was going to be, right?
Right.
At that particular point in time, So I thought, well, this is a great opportunity.
No, yeah.
So I should, I should do that. So, but I got to tell you this too. So I came up, and I'd not been around like a big time college football program. I'd been around, pros, but I'd not been around big time college football program. So this is summer. I come up. So I saw Russell Gary, Rodney Lewis, and Rod Horn, and they were lifted.
Yeah.
And they look like like men,
right.
they
stayed in the weight room.
Yeah, man, I mean, like they look like men. I'm like, wow, is this how this is gonna be?
Yeah, this ain't what I thought it was.
I mean, especially you're talking about Russell and Rodney, who were DBs. I mean, and to my eye at that time, these guys looked huge. And Rod Horn had no neck. He was just like he was eating all the weights. He had I can't remember. I think he was deadlifting. He must have had 4 plates on each side of the thing. And I'm like, wow, what am I getting myself into? But anyway, so that's what happened, man. I showed up in August, and then tried to figure it out from there.
Well, I tell you what, when you showed up, man, we all knew who you were because of your dad. When they said, "Hey man, Buck Buchanan's son just is coming," we were like, "Oh man," And to be honest with you, your class. When I look at your class, you came in with a pretty good class.
Yeah, that was a great class.
Yeah, you had. I know was an AT with you. Anthony
Thomas was in there, and then Irving was in that class.
Irving Fryer.
Neil Harris was in that class.
Yeah, Neil Harris.
Mike officially was in that class.
Man, y'all got Turner Gill.
I'm missing some guys. A lot of guys that played a lot of minutes. Burke.
Dave Burke.
Dave Burke from Utah. Harry Grimminger. Tranowitz. I think Tranowitz was in that class, right? So there was a lot of guys that played a lot of minutes out of that class, and a lot of success. That class was 1 2-point conversion away from a national championship.
Yeah. We talked about that. I had Trano on the show a little while back, and we talked about that.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, we're trying to get Harry. We're gonna figure out a way to get Harry up.
Where is Harry?
Harry's in. I think he's in Millard.
Yeah, he's an administrator. Right?
Yeah, boy. You know what? And I ain't gonna spill the beans on it, but if you'd have told me when we were playing that Harry was gonna be an administrator, I would have had to have you get a head examination because Harry and administrator didn't go in the same sentence. Well, Buck, now after you stayed here as a full time, what?
No, I wasn't here the full time. So I was here. So I would have been here through first. So I did freshman, redshirt, sophomore. So going into what would have been my junior year, I had to make a decision. And so what was the decision I was trying to make, Rick? It was I was trying to decide, was I really committed to this or not?
I got you.
Because if you're not going to be committed to this, at least I felt. I was not being fair to myself. I wanted to be fair to the team. And you might find yourself getting hurt if you're out there half-stepping.
Yeah, right? Well, it's a business.
It's a business.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I ever entered into this. You heard about the story. I don't know that I had a lot of time to think about what I really wanted.
Okay.
And what I really wanted out of my life. Very reacting to a lot of different things. And so there was at the moment in time, and I thought, it's probably time for me to think about doing something else. So I can remember going to have a conversation with Coach Osborne, and he asked me if I was sure, and I said, yeah, I'm sure, even though I wasn't sure. Yeah. I really didn't know what I was going to do. Right. But we did that, and so I tried to stay in school for a while, but without the anchor of the ball, it was easy to get away from that.
Right.
Ended up, I found a job working at and some folks might remember this old bar downtown called McGuffey's. Got a job down there, and was bartending there for a bunch of years. Kind of knocked around in that business. Worked at the Cornhusker Hotel for a bunch of years. Did some work at the Blick Alumni Center. All kind of in the food and beverage industry. And then back in probably 95, 5, maybe.
Okay.
Man, it's so hard to think back on that time. But I was working at Barrymore's. We were talking about that earlier too.
Barrymore's.
That's a place, man. That's the spot. And then so I met this guy by the name of Terry Fairfield. Terry at the time was the president of the University of Nebraska Foundation. Terry used to come in and hang out.
Okay.
Back when the University Club was open, all the old dudes used to go upstairs and drink martinis. I think it was on Monday night. Right? That's what they would do. But Terry would pop through every now and then. I think his daughter was working there part-time too, so he would come in and see what she was doing.
Okay.
And, we just got to talking. And on Mondays, there was a lot of time. And we would talk. And he came in one time and he said, have you ever thought about getting involved in this business? And I said, man, I don't know what you do.
Right.
I don't know what that means to be at the University of Nebraska Foundation. And he said, we do the fundraising for the university. I've been talking with you. I mean, I think this might be something you could be good at. And I said, well, I don't know. What do you think? And he said, why don't you come talk to me? So I went to the office, met him, and this other guy named George went. And he said, hey, we would be interested in bringing you on. And I said, man, I haven't finished school yet. He said, well, why don't you come on as an intern? And how long is it going to take for you to finish? I just said 2 years. I really didn't have any idea.
I think
2 years. Yeah. And I said, we'll work backwards. I said 2 years, and he said, well, let's do it. So they came on. I worked there as an intern for 2 years. They paid for my school, and then I completed my degree, and then I came and worked there with them full time. But then from that point forward, I was there for 14, 15 years.
Oh, wow.
In various capacities. My last title would have been vice president and director of corporate and foundation relations. So those guys were unbelievable to me. I'm still friends with Terry to this day.
Yeah.
What I was able to learn about work and in certain kinds of environments, talk to people, understand the way the university works.
Yes.
Understand the way you have to think about what it means to raise money, why people want to give money, what motivates them. So it was a great learning.
So you basically went from being an intern to having like a 14 and 15 year
career.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty phenomenal.
I was the world's oldest intern. I think I was 28 when I started. But man, I was like, look, this is my shot. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my shot. I can't do this other stuff forever, and I have to do something else. And so, I approached it like those 2 years were a job interview. I am here not to just get coffee and joke around. I'm here. You're going to know I'm here to learn.
Right.
I'm here to work. I'm here to contribute. So what I did was on my classes, I stacked them all on Wednesday. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I had all Tuesdays and Thursdays open. So I was in the office from noon, 1 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all day Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Wow.
I was there.
Well, hey, look, we're going to take a quick break. Do not go nowhere. We'll be right back with Eric Buchanan, man. 93.7 The Ticket to get you happy on hour.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Generation V.
Opening a new location at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Join us this Saturday during our grand opening sale. Everything is buy one, get one free. Mix and match between Vape, Delta 8, and Kratom, or buy two of your favorites for the price of one. Buy one Elf Bar disposable, get one free. Buy premium THCA flower, get a free glass pipe. You decide what to BOGO this Saturday.
Generation V.
Don't miss the grand opening sale this Saturday at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit, and you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour, an opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Well, we're back, and I got to give a big shout out to my little brother down there in Tulsa. Brett, keep doing big things. Happy Father's Day, young man. Appreciate you tuning in, checking out the show. Yo, we were just talking, man. You was doing this. You went from being the oldest intern to a 14-year plus career with the Nebraska Foundation.
Yep, University of Nebraska Foundation. So, like I said, I learned a lot, and I credit those guys a lot with my success or whatever it is I got going. I was able to build a life, buy a home, have my kids, be married, all those sort of things. So it was great. So back in 2010, is that right? No, 2013, excuse me. Just before in 2012, we were working on an initiative that ended up being the Buffett Early Childhood Institute, which is based in Omaha. And during that time period, I got to meet some people affiliated with the Buffett Early Childhood Fund. Buffett Early Childhood Fund is based out of Omaha. As the title
is that
suggests,
the same Buffett I'm thinking about? Warren Buffett.
That is actually his daughter is
Okay.
the one that is the creator of this particular philanthropy, though the resources come from Berkshire Hathaway shares.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That Warren gifts to the kids foundations for them to be able to do their philanthropic work. So I met some folks affiliated with that and just started to have some dialogue with them about what they did. They started asking me some questions about myself and what my interests were and what I did. And there came an opportunity for me to transition from the foundation to go work with the Buffett Early Childhood Fund. Again, same story. I didn't really know what they did.
Yeah.
But the name, obviously.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Warren Buffett.
That's something to pay attention to.
They're probably not the brokest group.
Probably not the brokest. That was something to pay attention to. I am not a practitioner of early care and education. I'm not trained or educated in that. But I've learned a lot over my time there and how important it is, how the first 5 years are really the most important times in an individual's life.
Right.
That unfortunately we do not always value young children in the way that we need to. The science is clear. The first 5 years are the greatest opportunity for learning. It's the greatest opportunity for social emotional development. It's the greatest opportunity to help children and families be able to navigate difficult situations. And it's the greatest investment that one could make as opposed to trying to do downstream stuff like incarceration, like educational remediation, like all sorts of other things that people complain about how much money we spend and don't get results. But if we would invest in those first 5 years, we could really change the life trajectories for a lot of kids and that. So I'm not going to bore you with all the science, the brain and all that sort of stuff, but it's
the first 5 years are important.
And really the first 3. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about within that, but what I try to keep it simple. And what I learned in the first weeks I was there from my boss, Jesse Rasmussen, was that the most important thing in a child's life is the quality of the relationship with their caregiver, be that a family member or be that a professional. And so I always bring it back to that, is whatever we're funding, whatever we're doing, whatever we're supporting, enhancing the ability of that caregiver to have a quality relationship with that child or not.
Oh, okay.
If it doesn't, we should probably not be in it.
Right.
If it does, that's the kind of stuff we want to focus on. So what do we fund? We fund a lot of work in practice. So that would be teacher training and education. We fund a lot of work in policy. That would be at the state and also at the federal level. Trying to support and work on policies that are going to do just what I said. Right.
Yes, right. I got you.
So how does that come together? We spend a little money on research, not a lot. Most of it would what I would call applied research. And then we spend some money on a few other sort of special project type activities.
Gotcha.
But that's the bulk of it. We approximately have $30 million a year that we give away. We wish it'd be a little bit more.
30 million is a nice little number, though.
It's a nice little number. We wish it was more. There's a lot of need. So in Lincoln, probably the most visible example of our work is the Educare School, which is attached to the Belmont Elementary School on about 14th Street.
Okay.
In Superior. That's a high quality early care and education center run by my boy Quentin Brown. Shout out to Quentin. At max capacity, they can serve 191 kids from 6 weeks to age 5. and they do it with high quality. High quality means the teachers are well trained and have great credentials. There is family support folks that are helping families connect to resources when they need them. There is a commitment to training of the teachers in a way that they can be lifelong learners. There's a commitment to paying them a salary that they can live.
Yeah, right? That's important.
This is really important. So, that's what I'm doing now. I have for the last 10 years. It's been an incredible learning experience. A lot of things I wish I would have known when I was raising my boys. I might have thought a little differently about a few things. Right. I've learned how to do some things I would have never learned how to do. I mean, I've been part of developing 4 facilities, north of $30 million in capital construction. I didn't know how to do any of that before I started doing
that's
this.
pretty impressive.
I've learned about how to finance some of this stuff. I've learned about and had the opportunity to be around some of the smartest thinkers about this type of work anywhere in the country. So it's been incredible, and I'm there as long as they're going to have me. So
you say you've been there for over 10 years now?
Over 10 years now, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't go anywhere.
I'm going to be there as long as I. And I think the other thing I would say, Rick, too, is that not only is that enriched me in all sorts of ways, it's also afforded me an opportunity to be able to talk about something that I didn't even know I was that passionate about.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
until
I got into it, and as you start to uncover and think about it and consider how important that time period is, it makes you even more passionate.
I was sitting there listening to you when you said like those first 5 years, and then I have had the pleasure of going into some of these middle schools and high schools, and some of these kids are kind of, and I'm not labeling them, but they just seem to be a little out of control.
Yeah.
And now that you mentioned that first 5 years, I'm wondering how many of those kids that I think are out of control probably didn't have the benefit of, that first 5 years of learning.
I think that's a good question.
I just, like I said, I have no facts to back what I'm saying.
Yeah, and obviously you don't want to paint everybody with the same brush.
Right.
And
correct.
And because somebody is having some issues at a particular point in time, and this doesn't mean you can't change.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm pretty much living proof of that.
Right. You can change.
Yeah.
It's just harder.
Yeah. It is.
There's more things that are become entrenched in the way you think and act and behave that make it much more difficult. And so I'm not talking about mind control. We're not talking about trying. No. This is not this at all. No. But it's at this time period when the brain is most flexible and has the ability to take on and experience new things and understand how to do things, the brain actually wires itself in a way that allows that to happen.
Right. Okay. It's like building a foundation.
It's like building a foundation. And like building the foundation, if you don't use it, you will lose it.
Right.
Right.
I can see that.
The brain will shed those pathways if they don't get used. So as well as I do, and I'm sure you do, like trying to learn a language.
Oh yeah.
When you're older, feels impossible.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But young children can learn languages.
Yeah.
Multiple languages at the same time.
Right.
Without even thinking about, well, why is that? It's because
that's a good question, because
their brain is at a place in which they're receptive. But the longer you go without that sort of experience, then they come like us, right? You can't learn it because those pieces of the brain have now been whittled away. So so it's really important thing to do. And not only that, it's critically important for family economic security. If families don't feel confident and comfortable that their kids are at a place that's good, where they're safe and where they can be healthy, they won't work. And if they don't work, then that's really tough for the economic security of the family. So there's a lot of, I won't get all into it, but there's a lot of things that go around.
Well, I'm just sitting here listening to you, and I'm thinking about the path that you took to get to where you are.
Yeah.
Dude, you bartended.
Bartended.
Come on, man. And then all of a sudden, you you know, the stars line up and you meet a few people, and next thing you know, you're at the foundation.
Yeah.
You know, and then you meet some more people, and now you're with the, you know, Buffett.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
man, come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't make this stuff up. I mean, to me, a lot of that has to do with who you are too. And that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that are not able to make those type of transitions, especially when they weren't trained. Right. You weren't trained at this stuff. No. You just basically you went in there blind and figured it out on the go.
Tried to figure it out on the go.
Yeah. And that's what it sounded like to me. Now I could be wrong, but it sounded like you went in there with
that's about right.
You went in there with, you know, like, well, okay.
That's about right.
Even when they said you hadn't graduated, you're like, well, 2 years.
2 years.
I mean,
We'll figure it out.
Dude, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, man, I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you because everybody can't do that.
Well, I mean, I would hope everybody could, but and I guess the way I look at it is, and I just took this Clifton Strength Finders thing, right? I've never taken it before, and
now what is that again?
It's called the Clifton Strength Finders. It's like a, you know, like a Myers-Briggs sort of a thing. It's not quite the same thing, and I just took this, and the only reason I took it was I'm working with my son, my youngest son, who's trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. Right?
Okay.
He's be 21 here in July. And I thought, well, you know, if we took this might give us some data for us both to look at, right? I mean, here would be something that you did and it's going to reflect what you think about yourself. And it'll give us both something to talk about. And I thought, well, if he's going to do it, I'll do mine, and I can share it with him, and we can both talk about what our things are, right? We can, that sort of thing. But one of the things that came out of this was, which I knew, but was reiterated in the piece was, when I'm successful, I feel like I'm learning, and when I'm learning, I feel like I can change things. But if I'm not learning, nothing happens, right? So that's how I approached each one of those situations. This was a learning opportunity. If I'm learning,
right,
eventually I will succeed because I'm going to be engaged. I'm going to try to figure it out.
Right.
There's going to be a series of problems. I'm going to try to solve those problems, and that might send me back to do more learning. And if I do that learning, then that whole cycle begins again. So I even, you know, when I do sort of my yearly personal goals, and I don't want to make it sound like it's like super extensive. I just kind of like scribble a few things down on a notepad.
Some ideas.
Right. But when I do that, I'm doing that based on what do I want to learn this year?
Gotcha.
Right? And if I follow it that way, that works better for me. So I don't usually talk about what I'm going to achieve. I don't usually talk about winning. I talk about what are we going to learn? And if I'm learning, I'm winning.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I don't want you to quit doing what you're doing because it's working for you.
It's working for you.
Yeah, it's working for you. And you know what? The thing is, life is so unique anyways, and it doesn't come with guarantees.
No.
So you definitely better make the best out of every day. And that's one of my pet peeves. I mean, a lot of people it doesn't make sense to a lot of people because I get a lot of questions about, man, how can you be positive and happy every day?
Right.
Well, you know, and unfortunately, a lot of the people that are asking these questions, they didn't know me prior to my 14 years of sobriety. When you've been through what I've been through, every day sober,
right?
Just that, clean and sober alone, is better than some of you know, the worst of times.
And I want to make sure that I say, you know, you said you were proud of me. How proud I am of you, because I knew you before.
Yes, sir.
I know some of the things.
Yeah,
I don't know everything. I don't know everything,
but you know a lot of it.
I know a lot of it. And,
you know a lot of it.
And I know it wasn't easy.
No.
For you. And there were a lot of things that were really tough, and some experiences that I'm sure you didn't want to experience, but but you went through. But to see you now 14 years later coming out on the other side, sitting here talking on the radio, I would have never thought.
No, well, matter of fact, I didn't want to be around nobody to talk for a long time. So I'll say thank you for that as well, man. And you know, and I don't want anyone to think that, you know, like for the things that I've accomplished personally that they were easy. But you know what? I just want to be an example that it can be done.
Right.
And that's the same thing I'm looking at you. I mean, the stuff you accomplished was not easy, dude. I don't care who you are. You can't go from bartending to what you're doing. I mean, that's just not an easy transition. It's one thing to be a bartender and then go be a server.
Right.
You know. So what I'm saying to you, man, is keep doing what you're doing. And I want you guys to, hey, you guys don't go nowhere. We're going to take one more break, and we're going to come back with 93.7 The Ticket to get you happy on hour.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
There are some things that happen every day. In the morning, my paper gets delivered. Thank you. Around noon, my neighbor waters his flowers wearing a bathrobe and hip waders. Hello, Mr. Willis. Where's my paper? After dinner, the lady up the street walks her 14 poodles. And just before the 10 o'clock news, the Nebraska lottery winning numbers are drawn for their daily games. Nebraska Pick 3, 2x2, and My Day. With Nebraska Pick 3, you choose your bet type. In 2x2, there's a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. They're all just $1 to play, with drawings every day. Oh, excuse me. Hi, Mr. Willis.
I'm still looking for my paper.
Guess which part of the day is my favorite?
Nebraska Pick 3, 2x2, and My Day top prize odds vary by game.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Well, we're back. You know, I'll be real honest with you. I've been knowing Eric for a long time, and I learned a lot about him today that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, man. Again, I'm not trying to be funny. Seriously, I'm really proud of your progress from when you left football. I mean, basically, you were just flying, in my opinion, you were just flying by the seat of your pants.
I was.
I mean,
I think I still am.
I mean, I'm just saying, dude, when you think about it, I know a lot of times people don't want to give themselves credit, but see, that's another one of my deals. I mean, I like being humble, but I also like giving credit, especially when you're doing positive things. Yeah. You know, we give a lot of attention to negative things.
That's true.
So, I mean, I'd like to see that same energy given to positive. And I just, I'm really in awe right now because bartending to the foundation. I mean, I just got to repeat this: bartending, foundation, then to the Buffett. Man, come on, man. I mean, where they do that at?
Yeah,
come on.
I don't know. All I can say to this is and you demonstrate this a lot, Ricky, which is, relationships.
Right.
I mean, committing to having relationships with people.
Yeah.
And what I found is most people want to help you if you ask.
Right.
Most people want to engage with you if you want to have if you engage with them with authenticity.
It's funny you say. Yeah, it's funny you say that because I'm thinking, and this is going to sound a little weird, but it seems like, and this is my experience, is maybe not everyone else's, but I've received a lot of help from people that I know, but I've received a lot of help from people I didn't know.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like I've said several times, it's well documented that Coach Osborne has been like, oh man, is very, very important in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've made that very clear. But I'm just saying, since he, got in my life like this after all my issues, man, the people that I've met, I mean, there are people, and I won't want to call their names, so they might not want to be known like that, but there's been people that's really stepped up to help me, and made opportunities for me. And they still are doing it.
Absolutely.
And to me, I just think that's special. So I always give them credit personally. I just don't do it publicly like I do Coach Osborne, because like I said, a lot of these people, they're a lot like you. They don't do social media. They don't do that.
Yeah.
And I have to respect that as well.
I hear you.
But no, man, the fact that you went from where I met you to what you're doing now, everybody can do that.
Well, and I hope there's more to come. I mean, I feel young and vigorous. I'm 60. I'm ready to.
You said you just getting started.
I'm just getting started. There's a lot more to go.
Well, and this is something that you probably know, but I'm gonna say it again so that I'll make sure you know. It's well known that I cannot dance, but I think I can dance. So I'd be like playing this music that we listened to back in college before most people.
That's what I still listen to.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Most of the music I listen to, a lot of the kids nowadays, they weren't even born.
I know.
You know, so it when I listen to this music, it takes me back.
Man, I don't buy any new music.
Yeah, no, it takes me back, man. And when I go back, I think I'm really thinking I can dance. So it makes me feel good on the inside. My question to you is, what do you do when you do get some free time? What are some of the things you do to get your happy on?
Well, I try to play a little golf. I play poorly, but I enjoy playing golf. You know, I like to read, man. I'm a reader. I'm part of the book club, and we're doing at least a book every month. And I found that when I'm doing a book a month, I actually end up doing more books. Because I want to read something else, or like because we will trade off, and like the week, the month that I had mine, I chose a Western, and there were 3 Westerns that I was choosing from, so I read the other 2 Westerns during that time period. You know, when my kids was here, I like to spend some time with my kids. But you know, I'm not out running the streets like I used to. So you were talking about dancing. It made me think about, you know, there used to be this club over on Cornhusker Highway.
Doc Holiday.
Doc Holiday. that was
that was a spot.
That was a spot. It was a lot of fun, and I mean, we couldn't get into talking about everything that
But what we can tell is one story about your roommate, A.T. Thomas. Anthony Thomas, rest in peace, A.T. But when Anthony Thomas was the offensive lineman from San Francisco. And this dude was like, back when he came to play the offensive line for Nebraska, this guy was probably 300 pounds. Close to it. And that was unheard of, but he was the most athletic person you ever want to meet. And to top it all off, he was the best dancer on the team.
He was the best dancer on the team.
Now, this dude could dance.
By far.
I mean, he would dance all night long. And then when they called last call, then he'd be like, hey, Rick, let me get your keys. I need to go to the car and get a dry shirt. But, I mean, I laugh about some of the things that we did. But
he would sweat through that shirt.
Yeah. Anthony Thomas could dance, man. I mean, for a 300-pound offensive lineman, this dude was light on his feet.
Oh, he was unbelievable. And he used to have. I mean, it was when I decided to retire. The hardest thing was to leave you guys.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you're not part of the team, that's a different thing, right?
Right.
And because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were fun. I got to meet guys from all over the country I would have never met before.
Well,
all kinds of personalities, people with all kinds of experiences, and just all kinds of points of view. We used to.
And you know, we had some good times though, really. You know, I mean, even though it was just
some of the best times of my life.
Yeah. And the same for me. I mean, and to this very day, I'm still friends with guys. Absolutely. I mean, I was looking at some of the Father Day texts I was sending out today. I mean, I was sending them to Mike Rozier, Roger Craig, you know, Irvin Fryer. I'm thinking, man, I've known these guys since we were teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, and we're still friends to this day. So,
and it's just the whole the vibe, man. I mean, I don't know what it's like over there today.
Yeah.
But we had a hell of a time.
Oh, yeah. And we was always together, too.
We were always together.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. This was a great show. I've had a lot of fun with my friend here. Thank you again, Eric, man, for coming on.
Hey, rest in peace, Nate Mason.
Yeah, rest in peace, Nate. That was my roommate from Greenville, Texas. I want to end the show like I always do. Every day you blessed to see, it truly is another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on.
That's right, baby.
Thank y'all. Y'all take care.